Let's choose the right.
Let's choose the right, which is
The the um the scripture.
okay. So, who would like to read?
I can read.
Thank you. Do you have the letters clear?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
And would you like me to read both one after another, or just stop after Genesis?
We can read them. I mean, you can read them both, one after the other, and then we can focus in the
Okay.
major ideas. Yes? Thank you.
Okay. Genesis chapter 37. And Jacob dwelt in the land of his fathers' sojournings, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, being still a lad even with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And evil Joseph brought evil report of them unto their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him, and could not even peaceably and could not speak to him peaceably. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed.
Thank you.
Exodus chapter 7.
Yeah.
And the Lord said unto Moses, See, I have set thee in God's stead to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he let the children of Israel go out of his land. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh will not hearken unto you. And I will lay my hand upon Egypt, and bring forth my hosts, my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt, by great judgments. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I stretch forth my hand upon Egypt, and bring out the children of Israel from among them. And Moses and Aaron did so, as the Lord commanded them, so did they. And Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron 83 years old. And they spoke unto Pharaoh.
Thank you so much. Now, a little bit of questioning here. What is the age of Joseph here in Genesis 37?
17.
17. We started discussing this topic, mentioning this is not a physical age. All the ages and the numbers which are mentioning in the story or in the Bible are qualitative numbers. Qualitative numbers. So the question is, what is the meaning of the number 17? 17, which Hebrew word gives us the value of 17? Good morning, Venus.
Tov.
Tov.
Tov. Good morning, Rodrigo. Nice to hear you.
Good morning, Eti. Shalom, everybody.
Shalom,
Morning.
shalom. Very nice to hear you. Now, the question is, does the Bible speak only about, so to speak, historical Joseph? Or the Bible speaks of something else?
Seventeen is it seems to be a number that's related to a change, um, like um, like there was in the 17th day when Noah, um, what was it? Now I can't remember, but I know that it has something to do with change.
That's true. That's true. Has to do with change. Yes. Now, a little question about verse 3. And Israel loved Joseph more than all of his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. We mentioned that the Hebrew term of coat of many colors is ktonet pasim. Here we have it. Please pay attention to the sound. In Hebrew, ktonet, ktonet, and in English, coat. Ketonet and coat. Please listen to the, how did I write it right? Yes. 1 second. Yes. Coat. Yes. Ktonet, coat. Ktonet pasim, strips garment. Strips garment when pasim. Pasim has the value of 190, like 10 times Eve is 19, or like the value of the land of Canaan. Canaan is also 190. Now, since the Bible does not speak only about historical story, but brings the pattern, what is the meaning of Israel making Joseph a coat of many colors or strip garments? If we use the English term coat of many colors or coloration, any kind of coloration, what does the name Israel mean in this context? Fernando?
I usually associate with the tree of life.
Yes, it's true. The tree of life makes Joseph not as historical child, but as Sfirat Yesod, as foundation sphere, a garment that the sphere of foundation could walk in time and influence.
And the Sephirah Yesod is the one who receives from all the others
Yes.
above, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
maybe
yes.
this is the colors, right?
This is the colors. This is the colors. Like you said, also in nature, Yesod is associated with the male aspect, and in nature, let's look at birds. The male bird or ducks has many colors. Usually the feminine is gray or brown. All the aspects of life, all the light that comes from the other spheres, different colorations, different qualities. It's not just about Joseph. The speech here is not just about Joseph, but about the sphere of Yesod, Yesod foundation. This is the 9th sphere from above.
Oh, would this connect with the soul being dyed like many colors?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, the tree of life, Israel, makes the soul which comes to be hosted here in time, Maim, because we said that water is time, Maim has the value of 90. And sphere Yesod foundation is the 9th sphere. I cannot, because I have to speak and write at the same time. So Sfirat Yesod is the 9th sphere from above, 9th, double 10. This is 90. And the tree of life makes the soul that comes to dwell here on earth in time a coat, a garment of many colors. because time has different phases, like different coloration. Once, Fernando, you were mentioning this, I remember that you were drawing in words the 3 lines of the tree of life, and you said the right side is the coloration. You say there's a street, and there's the street as it is, and this is the coloration, how we experience a moment walking in the street. And so the tree of life is real because Israel is the value of all the 10 spheres in Hebrew. Their abbreviation in Hebrew is 541, Israel. And the tree of life makes the soul who comes to dwell here on earth. Joseph is our soul foundation that comes to dwell here for a time. A coat of many colors, a dressing, a garment that will fit the time that we are spending here on earth. Do we understand this concept? Or is it too hard? I mean, can we conceive?
No,
this is not just a...
yes, I understand.
Yes, you do. It's not just a private story of Joseph and Israel's father. It's not a private story between father and son. This is how things are when they're coming from the other side and they're being reflected here in space and time. This is a pattern. Questions, Rodrigo, Fernando?
Eti, may I
Yes.
say a comment, a very heterodox way of thinking, but I don't know, just came to my mind. If we get these 2 words, ketonet, pasin,
Mm-hmm.
we have the value of 1060, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And since 60 is samech, the letter samech,
Mm-hmm.
and with the 10, we can write the vav and the dalet, so we get the sod.
Excellent.
So
See?
Jacob gave to Joseph the sword, the secrets.
Excellent. He gives Joseph the sword, the secret, because Joseph is also Sfirat Yesod. Very good. Very good. Excellent, Rodrigo. Excellent. Every soul, before the soul is manifested here, in space and time, in the body of a child, of a baby, every soul gets this secret before the soul is manifested here. But to be able to access this secret, we have to expose the Yod, the covenant, the 10. We have to discover or to reveal the Yod, the covenant between heaven and earth, what connects here and there, and then we have the secret. Very good. Why now the brothers in verse 4? Now let's do exercise in the mind, because the story is not about a family. That everybody has different interests. What is the meaning that his brother are hating him? What do they hate? And the brothers are not physical brothers, are different aspects of life. So what do his brothers are symbolizing in this verse? If Joseph, or the dressing of Joseph, is the secret, what his brothers are representing?
The manifest.
The manifested. Excellent. The manifest cannot tolerate a secret. Please pay attention that the Bible says in verse 5 they cannot speak to him peace anymore. Not, not 5 but 4. ולא יכלו דברו לשלום, peace, peacefully or peaceably, the English says. Please pay attention that the word shalom is written without a vav. It's written here without a vav. There is no vav because Joseph is the vav. He is the spirit. He is 6-time tetragrammaton. He is the vav. And they don't see themselves embracing him or with him at the same kind of concept.
It's like it's like they're unable to. It's like the speech is changed.
Yes, they cannot. It's just, how do you say? It's like they are polarized. It's like politicians. Each one represent another pole, but they cannot reach agreement because none of them is on the middle line or in the middle line.
Yeah. It's like when he changed the speeches of the nations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I would like also to relate to what Felipe was mentioning last time. The name Joseph. The name Joseph, Yosef, is 156. Felipe was saying each digit represents here a letter, and they are representing the letters Yahu, Hey is 5, Vav is 6, and 100 in a code Ik Bahar is a code that Aleph equals Yod equals Kof, meaning 1 equals 10 equals 100. So Felipe noticed that the name Joseph, which has the value 156, correlates or parallel to the Yahu letters from the Tetragrammaton. Yes, I can raise my volume, please. Yes. Thank you. Now, let's do this exercise and see what happens mathematically. Let's take the value of 156 and divide it into 4. 4 is the manifestation in time. What do we get?
$39.
39. Please pay. What is 39 represents? Do you remember? Okay, let's look into the letters.
Tal.
Tal.
Yes.
Dew. How do I spell dew? D. Kevin? D-E-W? Hello? How do I spell dew?
Yes.
Yeah?
D-E-W.
Thank you. So what happens is we take the letters Yahu and we fill them with the letter Aleph. Look what happens. Instead of Yod, we are writing it. Yeah? Yes?
It's 39, right?
39.
It's
Yes.
just Yahoo.
Yes. This is Yahu 39. Yahu is the spirit, because what happens when we look at the tetragramma, let's look at it in this way. We have the tetragrammaton. Let's write it in this way. Like vertical. Yahu, from the name, is the spirit. And the last Hey is space and time, or the vessel, or our body. Again, I'll write it in this way. This is the vessel, and Yahu is, in this case, is generally 21, but with the filling of the letter Aleph, Yod, He, Vav. This is 39. When we write the last letter He with the filling of Aleph, it becomes 6, and 6 plus 39 gives us 45, the value of Adam, human. Do we understand?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was remembering that Luria speaks that the resurrection is related with this Tao and
Sure.
with this Yahu in its feeling.
Yes.
Like what you just said, that it is the spirit and the last He is the vessel. It is our body or our material condition.
Yes.
And so the resurrection is when we connect with this Yahu, with this secret,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Right. This is it.
And I was wondering, I hear it because Joseph, it is in this scene, he is the younger, he is the new one, right? And the brothers are the elders, are what is fixed. The things that are already
There.
made,
Yes.
there, like the tradition,
Yes.
they are the
The
tradition.
institutional thinking. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes. Of course.
almost the tyranny,
Yes.
and he speak bad of them. He reports to the Tree of Life that Dibartem, I think that is the word. He speak bad words about them. Usually we think that to speak bad words is lashon hara, right? It is something that we need to avoid. But I would like to listen from you in this context. How could speak bad words about something? It is not a bad thing, in this context. It gets another color, gets another perspective, maybe. I don't know. Just wondering here.
Can you ask again that, because I have something that I would like to paraphrase. Can you ask again?
Yes. Well, first I just put what I think that could be the symbols around the brothers and Joseph, but the idea is, how can speaking bad words, even from institutions, could be a good thing? Because the Tree of Life, just doesn't matter for the Tree of Life the bad words about this institutional thinking, this status quo, this. What does it mean?
What does it mean that the spirited one, the one who carries the light, Joseph is 17, Shvaisra, 17 is the value of good, Tov, and in Genesis 1, God says that the light is good, and the light is good. The value of light is 17, or in this case 156, the name of Joseph. He shepherds his brothers, and he is also have contact with the sons of the maids. What is a maid and what is a lady? Do you remember? What is the meaning of a maid in the Bible? Or a slave? in relation to the wife. When we were
It is
yes,
accidental part, something like this. It is something that is.
when we were speaking about Sarah and Hagar, what does Hagar? Hagar is a maid, is Sarah's maid. What Philon says about Hagar? What does she represent? Do you remember? She represents, or the maid represents
The strange woman, right?
yes, the worldly wisdom.
Yes.
All kinds of wisdom, like what is going on in the world, not, so to speak, the word of God. So he is associating with the sons of the maids, Bilhah and Zilpah. Bilhah is the maid of Rachel. Bilhah is the maid of the tree of knowledge, and Zilpah is the maid of the tree of life. And he brings their words into the Father, into the tree of life. It's not that he speaks bad about them. He just describes what the temporal think, and what the temporal think is not the truth. Do you understand? How does it work?
Yes. I could understand. Yes, it is like it is bad only from the mindset of the brothers.
Yes, this is true. The name Zilpah, Bala Sulam, says that the name Zilpah comes from Zolpo. In Hebrew, it means cheap here. Cheap here in the manifestation. In the manifestation, everything is cheap. This is the meaning of the name Zilpah, Zolpo, according to Bala Sulam. Philon says that the name Bilhah comes from the verb bala, to swallow. In a way, Bilhah is the maid, not just external assistant lady, but a quality in us that just want to swallow things, meaning using gravity. Because what is happening in the swallowing process, when we swallow something, it just goes down from the mouth down to the system, digesting system, using gravity. So do you see this triangle? Joseph, the sons of Bilhah, the sons of Zilpah. The sons of Zilpah are the sons or aspect that say everything is cheap here, nothing worth here. Life is, I don't want to speak how people speak on the net, life is not worth living, so it's very cheap here. The sons of Bilhah, just swallowing things, just eating, meaning cooperating with gravity but not speaking words, because
Consumer
yes, Kevin?
consumerism.
Yes, consumerism. This is it. It is not that he was lying. He was just sharing. This is how they behave. It is interesting because this is what Philon says, that Moses wrote the Bible. And please pay attention to the context. In verse 2, there's a story about Jacob and the sons of the maids, and he brought a reflection of their speech to the father, and immediately in verse 3, and Israel loved Joseph more than all of his sons, because he speaks the truth.
Doesn't it mean that he was also harder on them, on Joseph?
Who was harder on the father?
Jacob. Harder on Joseph.
He was, and in Thomas Mann, And yes, Thomas Mann brings it. Even
because in the scriptures it talks about the one that you love is the, in the law when it talks about the of your strength.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is it? I can't get it out of my head now.
when a man has to, we were speaking about it, Parashat Kitavo, the former weekly portion, when a man has two wives, the beloved one,
Yes.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and the hated one, yes.
Yes, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's very good that you bring this verse because he's the son of the beloved one, and he, for him, he made a coat of many colors, like not just one color, but many, like double portion, not just one strip or one color, but double. Very good. Questions? Fernando, Rodrigo, questions?
T,
Yes.
I was thinking about one thing. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but the name Joseph,
Yes.
the same letters that the word Suf,
Good.
which means end. And I just thinking if Joseph could represent this border, this frontier between the manifest and the immanifest. I don't know
Very good.
if
Very good. Very good. Joseph Yosef contains the letter Sof. Sof, it means the end, like the manifestation has ending. But with the additional Yod, the covenant, he connects to the eternal. Very good. Very good. Also, the word Yosef, if we rearrange the letters, it is pious, like we say pious in English, is a man of peace, or Chassid. Fernando, pious is Chassid, a man of peace. Questions? Venus, do you have any question? If there aren't any, I would like to move to
Yes,
yes,
Eti.
yes,
I,
yes,
I have,
yes,
I
yes.
have one. I'm just thinking it because, and sometimes I'm thinking about this coat of many colors because sometimes it is not easy to connect with the tree of life, because I'm talking to about myself. The idea is that sometimes it's easy to connect to the tree of life, like reading the sages or reading the book of Zohar, but as it has many colors, you cannot lead to it always with the same path. You have to
True. This
change
is
path.
very good. Very excellent. 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 Excellent.
And this is the idea. What do you think about this? Because
This is true. This is it. This is the coloration of time, like new paths. It's not the same path. Also, Philon says repetition. This is the made way to repeat. To repeat and to have habits. This is the maid's way. The virtue. Always look for a new way, for a new path.
Irrational.
Yes.
yes, the rational is a way as well. And the
Yes.
sentiment and the
Sentiment.
creativity.
Yes, and lateral thinking. Yes, yes. And dreams, they bring their own language and coloration as well. Yes, yes. The mechanical, in a way, now we're living in modern times, the mechanical is the made in us. But any activity that repeats, which is mechanical, the mechanics of something is the aspect of a made in a certain happening. Like washing dishes, there's a dishwasher today. So the dishwasher is the mechanics. The dishwasher used to do is doing the work of a maid, which is repetition. Repeating on the same mechanics. Nothing new comes from this. It's the same actions all the time. The virtue is capable of bringing ideas, notions from there. Not just ideas, but new things which had never been existed here. This is the quality of the virtue. This is why the Bible says, and Sarai, Eshet Avraham, and Sarai, the wife of Abraham, lo yalda lo, did not give birth to him. Why? Because Sarai is the virtue, and Abraham, still with before the additional letter He, is not ready to carry the virtue. So it is good to look also upon our daily activities and to see what kind of actions are repeating in ourselves. This is also what new systems are doing. What is ever repeating, we can write a script. People who code, Kevin, do you code sometimes? But everything repeats, you can really put it in, under certain rules because it works. This is the mechanics of things. Like the stock exchange market, they have the mechanics of something. This is how it goes. But the virtue is something else. We cannot write a formula or a script for a virtue because it's always fresh. It comes from there.
This was something I was teaching my son a few days ago. He had a habit that of doing something that got him in trouble, and it wasn't. I had to sit down with him as I was reflecting on it, and I asked him if he intentionally did it, like what his motivation was, and he said no. He said it was just it was a response, and I didn't know why I did it. And I said, now do you see why your habits, if you form bad habits, they can not help you, but if you form good habits, then they can help you. And he's like, I see it. So it's very interesting.
Yes. Venus asks, what do you mean by repeat? It is good if we notice during our daily life if we are repeating on certain patterns or certain behaviors, and they bring us nowhere if we notice this, and then we stop first, because it means that we are being caught into gravity, like a habit, something which is going on, and not looking for a new way to do things. There are, like what we say, routines. This is one thing, and there are like repetitions. It is very good to not to repeat, because repetition sends our mind a signal of a sleep, because we repeat, we do the mechanics like robots, and the mind can sleep while doing the mechanics. This is why it is very important to pay attention. This is why I also brought here the little Rembrandt painting, and this is the dream that Joseph tells his father Jacob. Please pay attention what is happening here in the picture. Who would like to describe, please? Kevin? Rodrigo, Fernando, who would like to describe what is happening?
It's a difficult picture to describe. It is many people gathered around an older gentleman in a chair. Then there's a female sitting in a chair with a book open, and they are all circled and facing the older gentleman in the chair.
Who is the older gentleman in the chair? Who do you think he is? You can help Rodrigo, Fernando, Venus. Who is the older gentleman in the chair?
I believe it could be Jacob. Jacob with his sons.
Jacob with his sons, and Joseph is in the middle telling him the dream. Can you describe what is happening behind Joseph's back? How people look, what expressions on their faces in relation to the expression of Joseph telling his father the dream? Who is awake and who is asleep or drunk? What is happening here? How people look in the right side of the picture? What is the facial expression do they carry?
They do not show interest.
Yes, excellent. They do not show interest. They are bored, they're drunk, they're somewhere else. Each one looks to a different size. People are somewhere in their, like Philon describes, in their calculation, thinking about golden coins, or whatever. Everything else than what comes from the other world. The only relation that we see here is Joseph speaking to the father, Jacob, and there's a lady reading a book. There is a form of a triangle. Though he is telling his father about a dream, and a dream is happening, and there's a discussion with the sages. Was it a daydream or a dream at night? Though he is telling his father a dream, they are very awake. And those who are awake, seemingly, they're not there. They're asleep, walking deads.
And the man with mustache, the brother, looks, how can I say, with pride or disdain, something like this, no interest about Joseph.
He's the only one who attends and also this is interesting because Joseph has a dream and another one, also Jacob has dreams. They have this share secret together. The language of secret that they share, the other brothers and their wives do not share. This is what they share is the secret of being. Again, they share the tetragramma. Jacob Jacob is 7 times 26, 182. Joseph, 156, 6 times 26. They share the Aleph. Between them is 26, and 26 we write the Aleph for unity, God. We have 10, 10 and 6. They share the being. This is why Joseph Jacob makes the coat of many colors to dress. Here, Jacob, I'll write it here. Second. He has to dress his son. The 7 days, 7 times 26 is also 7 days of creation. Dress the time, the 6 days of creation, with the being, with the tetragramma.
6 plus 7, 13.
Yes, love. And Israel loved Joseph.
Nice. And they are side by side. They are not in front of,
Yes. They are there. You see the tension between them. Not a tension, but there, not bad tension, but there is a tension of something is happening. The father is listening. The son is telling. They're there. The other participants, the other brothers and their wives, or who knows what, they're not there. Just everybody is in his fever dream, so to speak. This is what Philon says. Philon was speaking about his writing in public in his times in Egypt, and he says that many people are carrying speeches, but nobody is capable of catching what is being told. They are sitting physically in a hall or in a space, but their mind is somewhere else. And Rembrandt brings this aspect of the other brothers being somewhere else, each one and his interest, but not with the being, not with the tree of life, Israel. And he's dressing in time. In a way, Joseph is an aspect of Israel, tree of life, walking in time. This is why he made for him a coat of many colors, a dressing that will fit the different colorations of the days and the years and the time. And this is not just a historical story.
They are looking only at the back of Joseph.
Yes, at the back.
And it is a young boy,
Yes.
full of dreams. It is interesting because today I'm with this institutional thinking. When somebody comes with a new idea, usually people tend to think that it is just a young one who is excited, but soon it will pass, because he will become as us.
When a person has a dream or sees something from there and he tries to share it with the surrounding, it's a very problematic topic with whom to share, first of all, because the need to share, the soul in us always has a need to share, not to keep anything to itself, to herself. The soul always likes to share because she's not from here. She doesn't need to own things like the body. So the soul aspect would like to share. So Israel has this ability to share, also Joseph. But the rest, they have self-interest. But in our life, when we want to share something very deep, it is a question with whom to share and how much and in what way. It's a serious topic. Because to share it with the wrong person is like the brothers. They would like to kill, to hunt, to think it's a cuckoo man, whatever. Questions? Kevin, Rodrigo, Fernando, Venus, questions?
I don't know if we could see the poem that you brought it in.
Yes, thank
the
you.
William
This is,
Blake.
yeah, yes. Yes, this is a poem called A Dream. This is the original text here on the right, and this is the letters from Wikipedia that we can read together. Who would like to read in English?
I will read.
Thank you.
Once a dream did weave a shade o'er my angel guarded bed, that in Emmet lost its way, where on grass methought I lay. Troubled, wildered, and forlorn, dark, benighted, travel worn, over many a tangled spray, all heart broke, I heard her say, "O my children, do they cry? Do they hear their father's sigh? Now they look abroad to see. Now return and weep for me. Pity, I dropped a tear, but I saw a glowworm near. Who replied? What wailing wait calls the watchman of the night? I am set to light the ground, while the beetle goes his round. Follow now the beetle's hum, little wanderer, hie thee home, hie thee home."
Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much. This is a poem called A Dream. Fernando, Rodrigo, Venus, would you like to say something, or Kevin, about the poem?
I just want to thank you and Kevin for reading. It's a beautiful poem.
Thank you.
The Emet is truth, right?
Emet?
Correct.
Emet?
Yes.
Emet is
Yes.
truth. Here, Emet.
Truth lost its way.
Yes. Emet.
Where he thought he lay. And grass is like flesh, is like the grass.
True.
There's a lot to digest here.
It is indeed. Rodrigo, would you like
What
to
are
s-
your observations?
Yes?
What are your observations?
Mine?
Yes.
Musically based.
Mm.
When I read this, music, like tune came into mind, because the words, the lyrics, they give the beat, the structure, and beyond the meaning and what he says here, it just comes with the music, and I had a wish to share it with you. because it's about a dream. And he says that Emet lost its way, truth lost its way, when on grass methought I lay. When Emet and the truth lost its way, Emet lost its way, the Aleph, the unity, the one, a person is just lying like dead. Met is like dead. And you say that the grass is like a flesh. It's beautiful.
And it's interesting also that the poet is dropping a tear in the pity I drop a tear, but I saw a gloom war near, who replied, what waiting white calls the watchman of the night. I was thinking about this longing, this sad longing that sometimes we feel, you know, this longing for the heavenly Jerusalem, maybe. And but he sees a glowworm. It is an insect, you know, just a little thing in the manifested,
Yes.
just a little thing of the nature, calling him back that the creation is beautiful as well. You know, you can find light here. I mean, you can find in the little things. I don't know if it makes sense, but this is what came to my mind. You know.
It's excellent because the glowworm in Hebrew at night, it's a feminine, called Gachlilit. Gachlilit, this is a glowworm. It has like a blue light at night, and the root is Gachal. Gachal, like a coal, a blue coal, yes, and it's a composition of Gachal, like a blue coal that radiates what used to be like once a great fire, and Gachal and Lilith. Gachal plus Lilith. Gach, Lilith. Gachal, a blue coal, and Lilith. So to speak, the first wife of Adam. Even back-to-back relation as Gachlilit, as glowworm, is meaningful because she is talking to him from the darkness of the night, and she is glowing with a little blue light, saying there is a life here though you see darkness.
What does the word Todah mean?
Todah is thank you or thanks. Todah is thank you or thanks. Todah.
Eti,
Yes.
regarding this poem, I don't know, I believe that the last sentence means go home, something like this, no? and I believe this go home could represent the travel, the path that all we are going through, this, how can I say, this seeking with this connection with the spirit, to found Joseph inside of us, or the connection with the sword that we talk in this meeting today, and I just came to my mind and took my attention this last word of this beautiful poem. just to share.
Beautiful, because the wanderer is like a kind aspect in us of kind, which is fugitive and vagabond, like wanderer. The beetle, it's interesting because the beetle, we have a name for a beetle, a beautiful beetle which has a red color and black dots. She is called Moses beetle. Like Moses called to come home, the beetle says, it's enough to wander and to please come home to the place of the soul, to the place of the secret. Yes, Kevin?
So I was just looking, the first letters of each line
Yes.
seem to spell out different words, but I've not worked it out completely yet because Todah is the second section. But
Todah is the second section here. Todah. Thank you, Todah.
but it's like I just recognize him for some reason, and
Very good.
I can't work out the rest yet.
Good.
But who wrote this?
William Blake.
William Blake.
Wrote it. We saw a painting by him, you remember, last time with Cain, Abel, Adam and Eve. He's the one, you remember, Kevin, that you were describing it? He also wrote his poem, 1785. It's it's from a collection. Yes. It's one poem from a collection of poems.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Any questions, Fernando, Kevin, Venus? If there aren't, I would like to wish all of us a most beautiful week, and we can meet here at the same time on Tuesday. Thank you so much for coming here today.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Thank you so much, Eddie, Kevin, Rodrigo,
Thank
Venus,
you, friends.
and all the friends. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bless
Thank
you
you very
all.
much.
Thank you so
See you
much.
Tuesday.
See you all
Shalom.
Tuesday. Bye bye.
Shalom.
Bye. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.